I'm going to take you along with me, and we're going to make some sage sticks today. So here is my rosemary. It's really big. And my sage there, and my lavender. She hasn't gotten that big this year. But I wanted to kind of keep them contained because the last time we moved, I lost my big sage plant and my big, rosemary plant, and so this time and this has really taken off. Huge sage. Just right here by my front door. We just recently moved to Oregon, so we've got tons of greenery. I'll take you around my backyard so you can see. So this is my whole side yard. So as you can see, lots of greenery. Lots of things, and already, only in the 9th of September, the season's already changing. You can see my big trees. Big massive trees in the back. And there's a little grove right inside here. The only bad thing is that there's actual spiders. There's lots of spiders, so we're not going to go venture in there. There's a little grove and I have a little planter's box that gets no sun, so we didn't plant anything there this year. The only bad thing is that we live right behind an apartment building. And cool thing is during the spring, this whole tree is filled with lilies, and it's just beautiful. Of course, my husband's taken them down already, but it just goes all the way around. So we put a little fairy house here. Ugh, spider. Shit. Okay, so, and here's our yard, the other side of our yard. We put the pool up for the girls, and then it goes, same size around. And then I've got my blackberries here where I harvested some blackberry leaves and blackberry flowers. So it's pretty cool. So bringing you back around the front of the house, I'm going to we're going to go and harvest some sage and some rosemary and make some smudge sticks. And I planted tomatoes this year. I think it's like on its tail end. But there's some really good tomatoes in there, hidden in there. Still some green ones. But, and a new little plant here. This little plant's got one big tomato on it. So I wanted to do some pumpkins, but of course, think about those things too late in the season. So back to the sage. What we're going to do is we're going to pull out a string. I chose the black string for no particular reason. It's the only thing that I had. And cut it probably a little bit more than the length of the bundle that you're going to do. And then we're going to incorporate it in there. And so we'll put it inside here, so that it's incorporated inside. Now this is a rosemary, and I'm just going to start somewhere and then just start weaving around. I'm going to make a little loop there so that I can hang it up so it can dry and dry evenly. So I'll make a little loop at the end and then just make sure all the leaves are laying down, and then just weave all the way. Make sure everything's laying down. Everything smells great. And with the rosemary, you'll feel that all the oils from the plant, the fresh plant, is just coming out all over my hands. And it just smells so good. So we're going to do that and keep weaving and really tight because I guess it's going to reduce size. Leaving the little tail of the string that you cut first at the end, and keep weaving all the way to the end. And then weave back just to get any of those little stragglers that are poking out, that are going to be, trying to break off as they dry, because you want to not waste your precious herb. And then we're just going to get the little stragglers and lay anything down that has poked up. Just back and forth and back and forth. Okay, and then we'll go to the end again, and this is the stick part of it. And again, I do have my little loop there where I can hang it up. Some of these little stragglers don't want to lay down. Okay, so I'm going to cut that off on that end. And actually, I'm going to weave it down the end, to the end where I left the little straggling parts. That will be edited. And bring it down to where I have left the two little tails poking out. And laying down as I go. Okay. Okay, so you still have the two little stragglers, or the one straggler hanging out the side. You want to grab and cut off and tie a really nice knot. In this spot here. And then cut it off, and then you can take off any extras that you know are going to break off as they dry anyway. Okay, and so here is a rosemary sage stick. For the sage, let's see. Okay. For the sage, you want to do it the exact same way. Just make sure your leaves are clean. Just kind of go through. You don't want to trap any wildlife inside.
What? What?
You don't want to trap any wildlife inside.
Oh my god.
A mama spider and her baby. Her sack. Come on, mama spider. Come on, mama spider. Let's find you a new home. Come on, mama spider. Okay. So let's find mama spider in her new egg sack. A new home. Okay, so that's all about nature, yeah? Okay, so mama spider, so I'll be a little bit more careful now to look for mama spiders. So that one looks clean. I mean, just with anything that's outside, you're going to have to expect that there's going to be creatures, and I don't want to bring anything alive into the house and incorporate it into my smudge sticks that cause a problem. Okay. Put that aside. So, okay, with the sage, since all the leaves are pretty much fanned out, I'm gonna have to lay them all down, kind of gather them up, together like this. Kind of closing an umbrella. She found a nice little cozy spot in there too, didn't she? Okay. Close them all up. Flatten them all out. So they're like, let me tuck that one in there too. Okay. Kind of like that. Okay. And I'm going to cut, it's going to be about this long, and cut it a little bit longer because I did like the little tails, the two little tails at the end. So I'm going to cut 2 lengths of the string. Gosh. Okay. And I'm going to put those strings inside. Okay? So that we have 2 little tails poking out the ends. And then, just like the other, we're going to take it, I'm probably going to tie a knot in the middle here because these are so fluffy. I'm going to tie it from the middle out and, with a rough tie, and then get a little bit more precise as I go in. Laying everything down again. You want to squeeze them together because this is going to reduce in size. And this is going to be a big one. And just roll them up and roll them up. This is a really big sage stick. This is something this will last forever. When you just light sage for purification, for protection, for cleansing, to cleanse a space. And then I'm going to fold this over just a bit. And I'm going to try to put that down in there like that. Okay. Just going to fold it down. Perfect. Okay. And then continue to wrap down. It really doesn't matter what the string itself looks like. It's just going to be burnt off anyway when you burn your sage. But just kind of make sure that it's really nice and tight. And since this one is so thick, you just kind of usually leave them out and they dry up, until they're nice and dry, and it'll be white in color when it's all dry. And I can still smell the rosemary. That's really potent. But when they're nice and dry, then you can use them. It won't burn very well if you, and that one seemed to lay down a lot better. And since I mistakenly incorporated my strings inside, I just wrapped around another string and made a, so I can make another straggling knot. So there's a string left in there somewhere to tie it off. And then here's your sage. And then here's the rosemary. So you can tell there's like quite a bit of a difference in size, only because the sage leaves were so much bigger. The rosemary was so much smaller, but it is, it's totally contained and quite, it'll make a good smudge stick when everything dries and it's ready to burn. So I hope you enjoyed my video. This is a video response to one of the videos I saw earlier from Charming Pixie Flora. Oh, and I also want to show you my some of my my offering stones that I made on Lammas, which was on the 1st of August, and they're still drying, but I put little buttons and little shells, and some of them I made in the shape of little goddesses, little goddess faces, just as an offering. And I did put some of my other Lammas, incense inside, and so some of them smell just absolutely awesome, and some little beads, little wooden beads, and of course here's some little moon goddesses, and some jasmine flowers and hibiscus flowers and incense and little jewels, and just different Egyptian goddess temple incense that I've made and that I've come across that I really love. And so all of them are a little different, but I had a great time making these little goddess or god little stones, and they're all little different colors, and I put little glitter on it. I don't know if you can tell if there's glittery, but yeah. So I hope you enjoyed my video. A little leaf with little golden leaf buttons, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Have a bright Lammas blessings. Blessed be.